I saw the canteen. It is one of the wonderful canteen I saw. In the college. And especially because of food. And second, I thank to HOD to organize this program to the proper way. And third, the capturing me in Kerala, my friend Fahad. Actually, he is capturing me. I went to Kanu, he is saying no, first take Calicut, then Kanu. And okay, then fine. And Dr. Sravanan also the archaeology background and all the faculty members, thank you very much for the invitation. And my dear students. And today I am just on a brief of the Harappan civilization. All of know about the Rakhigarhi already. The head of department speak about the Rakhigarhi, one of the largest Harappan sites now. And the second, first I just go, what is the Harappan civilization? Maybe the different names. Some of the people is called is Indus Valley civilization. Some of the people are first Bronze Age civilization. And now is the term is came out Sindhu Saraswati civilization. And there is a various terminology given by the different scholars. But don't confuse. There is a one single cultural way. All of know the basic time bracket of the Harappan civilization is 2500 to 1900 BC. The basic, all the mature Harappan, they started from the early Harappan to mature Harappan to late Harappan. There is the three phases we are discussing here. And second, I discovered the area, almost all of read in the books from Jammu Kashmir to some Daimabad and Bhagatrao in the south, from Alamgir from east and the west from the Sutta Vendor, and that is the general framework we are reading in the textbook. Now the research is conducting the extension of Harappan civilization to be towards maybe in the south, like Keladi is claiming to be the Harappan, very close to be Harappan, but it's not confirmed. But when the research is came, it's a process. Research is a process. Will be the came or definitely it will be entered from the some way. And the beginning of Harappan civilization, the earliest maybe the Charles Mason, he visited at the 1829 of the site, the great, basically the Sangala of the given by the Alexander Cunningham and all this Alexander. And second, the first report of the Harappan civilization 1922, the London newspaper is published one beautiful cover page article. There is a new Harappan civilization is discovered near the Harappa in Punjab. And second, they are the basic sites of the Kalibangan. Another James Scott is discovered 1829, and the continued discovery was happening before the independence. Basically, all the 1947 is the independent period of the Indian, and the partition before partition is happening the all the sites. And now the I just already talked about this civilization is brought on the rivers of Drishadvati, Indus River, and Ghaggar, Hakra rivers, and Saraswati. What we are called this Hakra, Saraswati, and the place with the Nara. There are different names on the different regions. And second, some of the sites or the very famous prominent sites, Kalibanga, Banawali, Lothal in Gujarat, Lotish Surkotada in Gujarat, Alamgirpur in western UP, Ulas and Kunal in Haryana. These are the basic sites. Just outline. There is more than 2,000 sites in the Harappan civilization. They are the basic sites I am talking about. We cannot talk about all the sites here. And this is the basic area. What is the map showing? See the Indus Valley. The red color is showing the Indus Valley area. The period. And the second of the contemporary civilization of the Egypt, Mesopotamia, and China. From that side. And now you can see the basic time period. What are the when the started from the Neolithic era, the food processing, regionalization and localization. This all this slide indicates basically how civilization goes through the contemporary civilization. This map given by Dr. Koshal, not by me, is already published this map, the different books. And when you understand the Harappans, that's why I'm saying the first is the early Harappan, second is the mature and the late. And some of the sites have a different culture. Maybe you heard about the Fort Diji, Amri, Nal. These are the pre-Harappan, when you call to the pre and early Harappan phase of the Harappan civilization, and they continue from the mature and the late. And this is the overview of Harappan sites. What I'm talking about, more than 2,000 sites of the whole area is India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Iran. This is the general overview. And Rakhigarhi is situated here. This is a nearby Rakhigarhi. And second, now you can see the cluster of sites. So very close. This is the area of Gujarat that is called as Sorat Harappan. Maybe you heard about the word Sorat Harappan. And this is the site in Haryana. And these areas belongs to the Cholistan area, the Ganveri Wala, the very famous site. And second, the sites are very close to the Rajasthan. So basic distribution of the Harappan sites in Haryana, Punjab, Rajasthan, Gujarat and Western UP. These are the sites are located very close to the what we can say the river basin, the Kalibangan and Ghaggar and other river what is supporting the Hindon in the Western UP. And second, you can see the distribution of the sites. This distribution, the cluster is showing this is the Western UP, this is the Rajasthan area and this Gujarat area. So basic the 5 major city what I am talking about. This 5 major cities are controlling. Like today we have the 4 metropolitan cities, Delhi, Kolkata, we have Chennai and Mumbai. So they are the supporting area also with this. The Harappans are the 5 major cities. First is like you can see the Dhalavira, maybe all of heard about in the Gujarat. And second is the Mohenjo-daro. Third is the Ganveri Wala in Cholistan. And fourth is the Harappa. And fifth is the Rakhigarhi, what we are calling one of the largest sites right now. And how the site is controlling, you can see the Mohenjo-daro controlling the entire area of this main site as well. Supplementary sites are very close together. We can see the catchment area of the main city. And this is another one, is the Harappa. Third is on the Ganveri Wala. And fifth is the Rakhigarhi. This is a 5 cluster cities. This small city can capture. Like today the Kalighat is the main you heard here. And it's the Mallapuram, I think it's Mallapuram district. We are the big city we call that Kalighat is nearby of the big city. So we are like catchment of the site. At the same time the Harappan is also. He is someone knows maybe is about this map is created in a different way. And this slide is showing the Mehergarh. This is the first ceramic age we can saw the before Harappan civilization is the time period of the 9th century to 10th century is the river by the Balochistan area. And the first before the Neolithic phase we can call it the excavated by Xeres. And C indicated the first settlement was Neolithic happening is the Mehergarh. And then it started from the 7 cultural layers from ceramic age to ceramic age. And they found the skeletons from there. That is my main topic is the burial excavation. And this is not my work, this is a work by different scholars. And I will come to the Rakhigarhi later. So first we will discuss what the scholars are did from different areas. And the Mehergarh they found the skeletons with burials with gold. Now you can see with the ornaments from the Neolithic phase. And second this drawing, you can see in the drawing show the how the skeleton was built and with some goats and with some jewelry will be found in the burial from Mehergarh, the Neolithic phase. And second one is show how the tools and the ornaments and all the looking of the Mehergarh. These three slides are basically indicating on Mehergarh excavation by Zeris. And what is the first locating the Mehergarh, one of the first Neolithic sites in the Bolan Valley. And the first started from slowly the urbanization was started from there, and this Harappan civilization came out. This is a basic understanding, but we cannot sure what is the archaeological things what doing there. And now there is another one is from Harappa. When you read about this first who's excavated the Harappa, the Madhav Sarup was there is a few names which came out always when you give the exam, who's excavated Harappa. Sometimes the question is asking. The Madhav Sarup was is excavated cemetery H area very close to this. Yellow one is showing the cemetery H area, and the Shastri is the cemetery R37 area. These are the basic excavated by different scholars in the Harappa and the different time period. And still the project is going on. The Harappan civilization is the meta project given by the University of Wisconsin, and this all they are doing the still work with the help of the Pakistan government. And the second slide is show the skeleton placed in different positions. That is the basic positions of the skeleton to north to south of the Harappan. When they are buried, they dig out pit and they buried the skeletons and with the pot, the basic from the Harappa. One drawing of the Harappan skeleton with the pots is a very normal custom during the Harappan site. And second thing, you can see the bangle on the last this one. See, maybe you heard about this is a very dancing girl of the Harappan found in, and the very same skeleton found in the excavation. She is wearing of the cell bangle. And then move to the another side of the Rajasthan, is Kalibanga. And the Kalibanga also very important site in Rajasthan, and the excavated and well published report by Thapar, B.K. Thapar and all his team. And second, the important, what are the basic, what we saw in the Kalibanga in the early Harappan deposit are the very important from Kalibanga. And they got three types of burial. So what I am saying, the first primary burial, the secondary burial and symbolic burial. There are the three types of burial normally in the Harappan civilization. And the basic burials with pottery, very huge combination. If you go to the Harappan sites, when you are excavating Harappan burials, you will get very easily to one skeleton with the same position, and from head side there is a pottery they kept on the, they had the basic belief the life after death. They had the belief, they put some cooked food inside. But one of the studies from Farmana recently, they got was turmeric evidence from the Farmana during the Harappan times. And this is another one, type 1 burial, what I am saying. The skeleton is lying down. See, the type 1 is the skeleton with pottery. This is the type 1. We can say this is a primary burial. And this second burial is like, you have very good culture in Kerala, the megalithic culture. Sometimes the urn burial, they are using the term. It's very similar to with they have put the bones of the inside the pot. This is secondary burial from during the Harappan time. And third one is a symbolic burial. In symbolic burial, it doesn't get any skeletons, only the bones you will get from there. Because like suppose then I am from UP, I just visited Kerala, and I don't have any contact to go back my home. And then home people like they believe he died somewhere. And is the for symbolically me, they put at the one pot to the memory of my way. if I come or not. This kind of the belief system is going on during the Harappan time. And third, what I'm saying, some of the clusters of the sites nearby the Sorat Harappan, the area. This is also very important about the Saurashtra, we can say, the settlement what is locating nearby the area. And the second, these few slides is given by the RS Beast, maybe he know the he is excavating on the Dhalavira. Dhalavira have like stone structures basically there. It's very difficult to excavate the site. It's in Kutch region in Gujarat. And when you're getting the skeletons from the Dhalavira, it's a very you can see the conditions are very fragile because of the heat and acidic soil of that area. And second, the funerary system of the Dhalavira, now you can see the same way they are doing. And third, now you can see the condition of the skeleton. And that, what I am showing these slides are basically worked by different scholars, not by us. So what is our main project of Rakhigarhi? What is the different from this excavation to Rakhigarhi about especially the burial? So we are coming slowly from this point, from the Dhalavira also the same question. And second, maybe he is very updated about this one. It says ASI excavated the Rakhigarhi in 1999 and 2000. And they got skeleton. And anybody has visited New Delhi? Yeah. If you go and visit the New Delhi, there is one Harappan Gallery National Museum. They kept one skeleton. These skeletons from Rakhigarhi. It's a 99 excavation by Amrendranath. And how the skeleton they lift from there and how they kept in museum. Now you can see they lifted from some chemicals and all this one. This kind of technology is going on the 99 and 2000. And then after they put like that in the museum. They make it frame and now it looks like that. You visit the National Museum Delhi. Yes. So this is how archaeologists dug out from the one skeleton from Dhalavira, kept in proper way to the museum to visit all over India, and more visitor, maybe maximum visitor came Delhi, and to show how the skeleton from Rakhigarhi. And there is another site. We moved to UP, the Western UP, the Sonauli in 2006 to 2008. D.V. Sharma acquisition. And this site is given by me to D.V. Sharma. It's a very prestigious site, this one. And that, what is the importance of this site? That excavation is very important because there is any human settlement they found. Like yesterday I am talking about some of the faculty members here. They are saying we have burial site, megalithic site, but we doesn't have one settlement site very good. And that is the problem. And the same problem in the Dhalavira, this one, Sonauli. The site name is Sonauli. Recently found the chariot, maybe you all heard about the Mahabharata chariot and all this one, this kind of the newspaper was published. And this is very close to the river of Yamuna. As a border of Haryana and UP, basically this side. And the Yamuna is flowing from there and 8 kilometers away from Sonauli. That is the distance. And then there is so many sites, like we can say the Mandi also located there. And important of the reason is the skeleton they found, more than 100 skeleton they found there. More than 100. And when I talk about this personally with D.V. Sharma and his team, they are saying the 116 skeleton they found. But I don't know where they kept it. Everybody don't know. That is a problem of some of the in excavation and the collecting the data also. It's a different thing. And now see the site of Sonauli. The important late Harappan days on the copper pot. That is an important discovery from Sonauli. As in 2006.
Testimony is burning later, no?
Yeah, yeah, it's with me. I was there. I will show you the small slide. Very short period with SK Manjul. And there is another burials from Sonali. Now you can see the copper state they got. Sonali have very rich about this. The archaeologists found gold from their skeleton. This is very important sites of the burial. And second slide we can show, see the carnelian beads from Sonali and the gold. The one of the lady skeleton they found with the gold and gold ring is covered with the skeleton. And what is the problem of this excavation we found? The soil of this Sonali in Western UP is very compact. It's very not easy to excavate the skeletons. They need the good archaeologist and good well-trained thing. In 2006, like our technology is not that much updated to the burial excavation. That is why I given topic the burial in context to Rakhigarhi. And these are the works done by the different scholars, especially the Archaeological Survey of India. The maximum work of what I show, the Archaeological Survey of India they did. And now see the structures also they found small. And these are the excavation of Sonali. And second thing, I cannot criticize the excavation, but this excavation have one problem. It's a big problem. When you excavate the site, you cannot just hang it out, the burial. When you buried the skeleton, you dug out the pit and then you buried. And that is the main problem of this excavation was happening in the Sonali. They actually take the skeletons and they kept for the some museum. But it's very difficult to manage the skeletons and the contamination and all this. And that is the main problem of this excavation. And then after you can see the skeletons from Sonali. So carnelian bead is important. That is to show the how trade was running from this Dhalavira to Western UP. And this is the demarcation of the through this burial practices, some of the antiquity, we can understand the connection of the people from the different trade, internal trade and external trade. And there is another bead is a gate. See, the pottery is from Sonali. Some of the people is calling this OCP ware, and some of the people is calling this the late Harappan period. There is a problem of the Sonali chronology itself today. That it's the OCP, it's the late Harappan. But it's a well given by the scholar on the B.N. Prabhakar, he's saying is a late Harappan. Now is a late Harappan. And some of the, maybe the print media is showing, some of the is like a mature to early Harappan is going. But not his published article, but what was the published is a late Harappan. Not that's it.
So most of our students not much familiar with the technical terms of the archaeology.
Yeah.
So if you expand the
late Harappan. Yeah, late Harappan. What I am earlier showing is the 1900 and this is what of 2100 to 1900. This is a period of the decline when we fall to the decline of Harappan civilization. That is the maximum people are called the late Harappan, 1900 and the period, time period. And the basic timeline what I am earlier shown. One is talking about the early Harappan. This is 3300 BC, some of the times it's coming. The Rakhigarhi I have 4600 BC, the dates of the early Harappan goes back. And the typical mature Harappan is 2300 BC to 2000 BC we can say. And the late Harappan started from there. And then another culture called is Vedic and later Vedic, and this kind of the time period. What also the first slide given by the Koshal. And then Mauryan and the early historic Mauryan and then all the Guptas and going on. This is chronology basic is going on. And second is a very quick because the slides are more. We had to come fast on Rakhigarhi. And this is another this sword found from the Sonali. The copper antenna. We can say the sword khurpa normally in the western UP part in Hindi. set, copper set, some of the figures, and now close to the skeleton and all. And this found is a typical, they very close photographs they are taking. Now we have to move Haryana. And what we are walking basically in Haryana, this Haryana the region is very fertile. And this slide show the Chautang river basin and the Yamuna river is very close to the Delhi. Just 100 kilometers away from Delhi, there is one site is Parmana. And that site was excavated by our director Yogesh Yadav and with his team of the Japanese. And the first time they are taking the DNA from there. And why they are failed, I will show you how the DNA studies will achieve the one target. And they started this target is from 2008. And this site of the Chautang, and this is dry bed of Ghaggar. What we call is Saraswati today. And this is the Ghaggar. And the maximum site is the belt of the Ghaggar. And now what I was earlier saying that people are trying to say this is a Sindhu Saraswati region. And this kind of the term was established in the particular region of the Rajasthan. And second, the cluster of the site again we can say we are moving, we touch this area, now we are moving to cluster of the site in Haryana, that area. And this is the basic understanding the map of the Haryana. And this is the site, what we can call Parmana state, on the from the early Harappan to the late Harappan. The Girawad there is a one site, and Mithata there is a one site. These are the few sites distributed nearby the Haryana region. And the interesting thing, the settlement and the burials, they are not very close. From Parmana, the settlement is here 900 meters away from the burials, or than the northern side of the site. The Harappans have the one custom, they basically bury towards the north. That is the first thing you have to always keep in mind. And this body will be slightly of the spine position, north to south direction. And this is the basic things in Harappan civilization, the burial customs. And second, we can move to the Parmana excavation. Now we can see that when we are the archaeologists, first with the scrapping of the trench, we got some pit line. But the pit line only get in the Parmana, not in Rakhigarhi. It is very difficult because of the acidic soil of the Parmana. The soil is matter to be the when going to be excavate any site. To the archaeologist first digging to be the check the everything what is going on the nearby the landscape. What is the your principal is saying I work on the flora and fauna, that is the landscape of things. That is very important in any archaeological sites. And see the team was excavated without any taking gloves and all this one. That is a major failure of the Parmana. The skeleton, 100 and something skeleton they found from the Parmana. So what I am saying, the primary burials from Parmana. Then another skeleton from Parmana. See, the secondary burial was not talking about the some of the secondary and symbolic burial also found in Parmana. Yeah. This is some of the antiquities. I am just showing. Basically, my topic is the burial customs. I am just looking to through the burial customs. I could not cover the whole Harappan civilization in the 1 hour. And you can this copper bangle found in the skeleton in the Parmana, and some of the pottery, and especially the pottery in the ceramics where always are the different things. If the burial potteries are sometimes different with the habitational pottery, there is a major differences in the Harappan civilization all over. Now come to the main sites of Rakhigarhi, and this is one of the high-tech project. Basically, we can see with the collaboration of Seoul National University, South Korea. We started in 2000 13. The first survey started in 2011, then slowly the excavation started in 2013. And the Rakhigarhi, what is HOD already talked about, is one of the largest sites. And the site was discovered in 1962 by Suraj Bhan, one of the archaeologists from Kurukshetra University, Haryana. And then he reported there is a 7 mounds of the Rakhigarhi. But after our survey in 2011 and 12, we take the samples from the other spot. We reported there is a total 9 mounds, and the site is more than 500 hectares. The huge, and then the first time one article is published, one of the largest Harappan site of Rakhigarhi is during the Harappan civilization. And now this is the aerial view of Rakhigarhi village. Rakhigarhi, there is no any name. First you would clear. The Rakhigarhi is known for the only oral culture. The name is Rakhi Shahapur and Rakhi Khas. There is 2 villages. And in Haryanavi, the call is Rakhi Khas is for Gadi. There is some mount. And Rakhi Shahapur is the Rakhi. There is some ash they found. So between the 2 terms, Rakhi and Gadi. So this is made by the Rakhigarhi. It's not an official name, is Rakhigarhi. The official name you will find in the Google is the name is Rakhi Shahapur and Rakhi Khas. So between 2 villages the site will be extended. 2 Gram Panchayats. And this is the excavation of our settlements on the Rakhigarhi. First we take a trench from the upper side. Now you can see the drainage system we found in Rakhigarhi. The interesting findings of Rakhigarhi is like we can call mud brick structures. And the fire brick structures also they are putting the drainage and bathroom area and the hearth area. And normally if you see the Dholavira, they are showing the stone structures. If you see the Harappa and Mohenjo-daro, they are using the mud, fire brick structures. That based on their ecology and environmental things. And the Rakhigarhi is one of the case of that. They are maximum using the fire brick, sun-baked and fire brick structures there. And then is another view. And what I am saying earlier, the Farmana have 900 meters the burial site from there. And Rakhigarhi have 200 meters from northern side of the burial. And this is the area before the excavation. Not we excavated, this is a private land we just choose for the excavation. What I am saying, the first skeleton of the National Museum kept, they found from here, below the transformer. That one. And then again in 2014 we started excavation. We take a trench here. Our trench size, you can see in 2016 we excavate here. In the ASI trench I already shows from there. This is our area for burial excavation we choose from in Rakhigarhi. And this is for general understanding of photos, how they are buried. This is 2 students from Deccan College as a training program, and they are just for show the direction of the skeletons, so we understand the how from where we have to excavate and which direction to be the scrap of the skeletons. And there is another big drone up to drone. So because the earlier there is so many sites was excavated before the Rakhigarhi, they didn't take any drone photography. The drone photography is very important now because we have to understand where is the skeleton found on the particular face. What are the differences from the communities? And we can say the differences is based on economy and what. And the second, this photograph will show the skeleton, the first, and this is me, and we are wearing the dress with the ground, especially as like a doctor on the operation theatre. We have to wear what I am saying, the earlier excavation they not take any precaution. That's why the DNA is a contamination what is happening with the skeleton. When you touch from your saliva also can touched the skeletons, the DNA contamination was happening. And see, this is our team from Deccan College, the skeletons found in Rakhigarhi. And how we are measured to the skeletons, now you can stand from, this is the methods of excavation. Proper ring with women. And we are given to her name is Miss Rakhigarhi. She is Miss Rakhigarhi to us. This is the first skeleton we got when we were excavating the site. We got one of the female skeleton. And she have two copper bangle in her hand, one bead here and some offering pots. And proper chamber they are making for the skeletons to bury. And this photo very popular in media. If you search Rakhigarhi anywhere, you will get these photographs. In the media, they published in media. And these are our basic training program. We are excavating the skeleton, not be contaminated with our DNA to our saliva to with the skeleton, what we are excavating. That is our failure in the Fermana and the other earlier excavation. Why we are calling to be the, basically our aim was to be reconstruct the Harappan people's life through the DNA, through the parasite DNA, and this is our main aim. And this is the way what we are excavating the parasite DNA. This is the first time we are taking from the skeleton. And why we had food and before digestion you died. And this food is inside your stomach. And when you are buried, this stomach, especially the pelvis area, this parasite eggs the food make. And this parasite eggs is long survival. And from these parasite eggs, you can say what he had. Yeah, what she had. And this is our one study. It's not in the article published, the research is going on. And that is we are taking from the samples from especially the pelvis area. When we had the food. And that is another what I am calling it a symbolic burial from Rakhigarhi. And this is our packing style after the excavation to take in our small camp, not any laboratory. This is our laboratory in village. So we are taking this, packing the bones and all, and take the sample from, send it to the lab of Deccan College, either from some of the medical institutions. See, that is a new method what I am calling that all are the different methods, ASI and different institutions that work on Rakhigarhi is a different methodology. The Rakhigarhi, why this is important? Because they had the new methodology employed to be the how to take a DNA and how to reconstruct the life of the Harappan people. And there is another one. Now you can see, especially how women from Rakhigarhi sees a very luxurious life, I think. All the women, because, and the second example we got, I will later to discuss, one of the murder we found, we cannot say murder, but she died of some of the, so like we can say interpersonal violence, we have published one article. And the second, you can say the cell bangles she wearing in the Rakhigarhi, the shell, there is no any connectivity of the sea in Haryana. We didn't see and the sea. That's why I came Kerala. When I came, I just told for her, show me Samudra. I want to see. He thinks, okay, tomorrow's lecture I will go. And that is the thing. We can see the northern belt is extreme northwest area of this site. And how the trade was maintained from the Dholavira to via Rajasthan to Haryana. So that is important. What I am saying, that some of the antiquity can show the internal and external trade between the people. And the copper is not available in Haryana area nearby. Copper is from Khetri, Rajasthan. There's a Khetri area. So that is the main source of copper during the Harappan time. So we can say the very well to do there's a life water based on the some of the movements and traits. We are coming in slowly to the point. But see, there is a one skeleton. There is a female skeleton, she wearing more than 2000 steatite, carnelian and banded agate beads with the necklace we found during the excavation throughout history. And there is a one another skeleton. There is a triple burial we found on the different time period they died. Close. This is one of the important skeletons. Now, this is the skeleton. What are the DNA we get today? Our publication, the one samples we got from the DNA, that is one skeleton. That is the skeleton. What the South Asian population we are quoting to with the Harappan DNA we found from this skeleton. And she is showing what she is also female. The all major good things we got from the females in the Rakhigarhi collection. That is another thing. And what we can say, as this skeleton have wearing the cell bangle. Not visible. Cell bangle also we got from the skeleton. That is the, we can say, love story of the Harappan. Now the one article is published by newspaper. By newspaper, not by us. That is couple burial is found in program. The interesting case. Left side the 11A is the male. 11B is the female. And male looking to female and female smiling face. And that is the interesting case we found in the Rakhigarhi of our excavation. And that first we checked our one publication it came out, the joint couple young burial. You can read on the, it's available on Google. And that skeleton first we think maybe they are honor killing and something else. Because we are in the 21st century, we can observe what is going on the past. Then we try to be the skeleton to CT scan and take an X-ray from the skeleton and analyze with the South Korean team or especially forensic team. Then we found there is a natural death both are. Both are the same time natural death and buried same time. So that's why the newspaper is saying the love story of this. There is a different way, but we can say the archaeological material, what are the saying, the same time, what the analysis, what we are trying to be the ground and all this one, the precaution is made this possible this study. And the lifting process, what I earlier showed, the archaeological survey of the different institution have lifting process and direct we are lifting. We have lifting processes slowly for skull and the long bones and slowly we covered in the inside the box and we'll take it from the laboratory. And this is the area what I'm saying. And he's our director of this excavation, Professor Shinde, and with our team members, what the pottery is found, that some of the broken, maybe Hasna no, she's from Deccan College. Deccan. And how to fix pottery from there to fix. And some of the potsherd found from the Rakhigarhi, the Deccan stand and bowl on stand. And this is our small lab in Deccan College. We are taking and he's the expert of forensic science in South Korean army. Now maybe you are read somewhere the South Korean giving skeleton to Chinese people. And he is one of the leading of the team, Dr. Lee. This is our team member. We are working on together. And this is our CT scan system in Pune. We take the skeletons to hospital. Report as we take the CT scan. That's why I'm saying what is the natural level based on this one. The skeleton established based on the lipid analysis. The Harappans are the drinking the milk from the Gujarat. दूध भी पीते थे. And some of the one of the study, one of my friend from Cambridge, she published one article. Harappan was non-vegetarian, and then she targeted also how is the non-vegetarian thing. But this is a lipid analysis thing. And the interesting thing I will tell you, what I found in Rakhigarhi excavation, we got so many bones of fish. That is one of the, for me also very shocking, fish bone from that time period. Not only coastal, when it is the river face they are using. This kind of the food culture was running by the Harappans. And there are the few publications we published. You can go through from the skeleton, the giant couple event barriers, and this is the DNA one. These are the few publications. And now the major point we came here. What is the DNA is suggesting? The DNA, the paper of DNA. Now the question is came out. What we are get from the during the Harappan's time. The DNA we got is basically is found on the South Asian population, and not in the South Asian population. This map is showing 10,000 BCE during the Mesolithic period. After the population is split from the Central Asian and the Iranian plateau, and then the skeleton have the contamination date. Well, that time they have the hunter-gatherers with these Iranians, and the second phase of this map is showing they have the Andamani hunter-gatherers theory. That is an important point. What we are saying, the Rakhigarhi's DNA is always showing the Aryan issues. No, it's not issues of Aryan. Is that DNA is intermixed with the Andamanis itself. So that is the question with the emerged for the South Asian population was indigenous. It's not a only single cultural way we of that. So that is the main major discovery of the DNA from we are taking here. And see this, what are the maps showing the DNA from hunter-gatherer, the hunters from the South Asian hunter-gatherer Andamanis and the Southeast Asian for farmers. The two major things, and this study is Deccan made the study of what the origin of agriculture in Anatolian theory. The people are calling the hypothesis they are bringing the agriculture from Eurasia and this part. But this research is break down this theory. This is an indigenous culture of South Asian population, and they introduced the agriculture of the particular area by the Iranian plateau. And this is the main major work of the DNA. And now second, what he's saying, he went from the Sonali SK Manjul. He's excavating one of the site is Barnawa. This is PGW site. Recently we excavated in 2018 with the joint collaboration of ASI. And this is our core team member now is saying without this one close. And this is night time we are walking on the Barnawa. The site is in Western UP. And this is a few one. That is another skeletons from Barnawa, and it's myself. And what is the skeleton without any ground. And that is the 2018 excavation we can say Sonali. The chariot, what is the question is chariot found. The chariot found from here. This yellow one, the below there they found the chariot. And we cannot say the chariot now is a not well published article. When the publication is came out, so we can say there is authenticate is a chariot or not. It is based on the open discussion. Now this newspaper is talking about and we, okay. And that see the again Sonali is the last hour my flight with the skeleton found from there. Thank you for your question. It's a long. Any questions?
वो लगा दे पोस्टर लगा दे बैठो बैठो पानी तो